Welcome. My name is Megan, and I'm a Facebook and Instagram ad strategist. And I'm here today to show you one of the easiest ways for you to bring in leads on autopilot straight to your Messenger inbox. Now, this is one of my favorite strategies for companies that are trying to bring in new clients. How would it feel to wake up every single day and have new leads coming straight in? And all you have to do is have a conversation with them and convert them to a paying customer. Now, they've messaged you, so they are already interested. Now, the reason that I like running these ads is because it offers an extra touch point in your business where you can actually have a personal conversation with someone and they feel like they're dealing with a real person, that they're not just another number. So the best way to do this is to run Messenger ads. And another reason that I like to do this is because one, you do not have to have your pixel tracking code. You do not have to have a website or verify your domain and do all of that techie stuff. You don't have to set up a custom conversion. Basically, it's just come up with your copy, have an image that is going to stop the scroll. I love videos, but it really depends on if you're comfortable in front of the camera, if what you have to say is going to help convert that client, and then we just literally go through the steps and set it up. Now, I'm not going to go fully through how to write copy, but I will give you some tips and tricks on how to do that. One of my favorite ways to do it is to start off the copy with a strong hook. So something could be, are you tired of trying to figure out how to do your own taxes? You really want to think about what your client's pain points are. What is a common theme? Like, you want to think about the objections of your clientele and how to solve those objections. This will also come in handy later on when you go to answer the messages in Messenger. So they'll message you, they'll want to know more about your business, and if they have any objections, you've already made that list and you have a quick answer to respond to them and tell them why that's not going to be an issue. Now, you'll start with that hook, and then what you're going to do is you are going to talk about the pain points. So maybe like how confusing it can be to do your own taxes, or the things that you can potentially miss, or what are some things that you have helped clients find on their taxes that have helped them get more money. So basically, you want to discuss the problems, you want to kind of agitate them a bit, and then you want to give them a solution to their problems. So they're already hooked. They already want to come in and they want to work with you, because they're like, oh yeah, I can relate to that. Another great way to write copy is to tell a story on how you've helped someone or what makes you different and stand out from other businesses. So these are some things to think about. I won't get into too much detail about this because, again, I could do a full video just on copy. And another thing you want to know is audiences. So who is your ideal audience? Who's your ideal client? Are you mainly serving women that are from 25 to 50? Maybe they are business owners that are looking for someone to do their taxes for them because it's too much for them to try to figure out what they can write off, to make sure that they do it correctly, all of that stuff. So you want to know, who are you serving, so that we can go in and we can create an audience in Facebook to show your ad to that exact person. Maybe you only help people in a certain state. Maybe you help them all across the US. Maybe you're only helping one gender or another. Maybe you are helping people that are families. Like, what is your specialty? What makes you different? So this is something also that you are going to want to think about before running ads. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hop into Ad Manager. I'm going to show you how we're going to go ahead and set up one of these ads. And then all you have to do is hit approve. And within usually 48 hours, your ad is live and ready to go. Now, one tip I will tell you is that you want to make sure that you are starting your ad on a Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. And you want to start it as close to the beginning of the morning as you can. So 12 o'clock a.m., great time to start it. It gives Facebook's algorithm the full day to start pumping out your ad. And the more times that the right person clicks on your ad, the more that the algorithm's going to pump it out to those people. So there is a whole bunch of stuff in the back end of Facebook that I could go on and on about. But when it comes down to it and you are setting your ad, you just need to write that copy that's going to hook them. You need to have an image that stands out, and then, or a video, and then you are just literally going to set it up, and you are going to make sure that you are having these really good conversations with clients in the inbox, and you will see. I've been helping Rise Business Solutions with their ads, and they get leads every single day straight to their messenger. And how good would it feel to wake up and have that? So let's move into Business Manager so that I can go through it with you so that all of this stuff I'm saying makes sense. Let's talk about how ads are set up. So at the very top, there is the campaign. Now this is where we set the objective, and this is, so like, is the objective to get messages? Is it for someone to fill out a lead form? Is it for conversions? Is it to send traffic to a website? Are we just worried about brand awareness? For this example, we are going to be doing a messenger ad, which is now in the new backend called an engagement ad. So depending which backend you have, if you have the newer one that only has 6 options, we are choosing engagement. If you have the older backend, which I think has like 14 to 16 options of campaigns, you are choosing messages. That is the objective. So that is what a campaign is. Then under the campaign, you can have 1, 2, 3, you can have as many ad sets as you would like. Typically, I would only set up, probably 2 to 5 ad sets. For this example, when starting out, I would probably start with 1. Again, the ad set is just the audience. Okay, so the ad set is where we are setting who we are sending these ads to. So let's say that we want to test sending our ads to all business owners between the ages of 25 and 45. That's where we would set this. And then let's say that we want to run a second set of ads and test sending ads to everyone 45 plus. You can do that as well. Now, you do not want these ad sets overlapping at all. So this is why when we're starting out, we would try 1 ad set. That's just my recommendations, especially if you're new at running ads. But this is where we are essentially saying who we want this campaign to be shown to, okay? Then under your ad set are the actual ads. Now, again, I have people that run 1, 2, 5, 7 ads under an ad set. It really depends on your ad budget when you're starting out or when you have a small ad budget. 1, sometimes 2 is okay. But this is your ad, and this is where you're going to put the copy, the creative, and you are going to be able to have, either the one set, like maybe you want to test a video versus a static image. You can do one here, but both of these ads will go to the same ad set. So once you're at facebook.com/ad manager, we are going to go ahead and we are going to click create. This is once the whole thing is set up in the back end, which is a whole other video, which again, I will send you directions to. Now, once you hit create, there are these 6 options. You might have the older back end version and you might have 3 columns. Basically, what we want to do is if you have this newer version in your backend, you're going to hit engagement. If you have the older version of Facebook, you are going to hit messages. Not a lot of people have this anymore, but it is still floating around out there for some clients. So we're going to hit continue. Now I like to label my campaigns based on when they actually go out. So today, as I'm recording this, it's November 6th. It is a Sunday. So I would have this start at 12 a.m. on the 7th. So what we are going to do is this one is going to be lead gen. It's messages. And I am going to run it on November 7th. This way I can always find it. And all I typically do is I copy that and I just continue pasting. You will either click next or you can go here and these 4 squares indicate that this is the ad set level. And again, I'm just going to name this the same thing, so I just copy and paste it over. We want people going to the Messenger app, okay? So the ad type, we are going to choose the ad you want to run and click messages. So we want it to be, our ad is running to optimize clicking messages, okay? Daily budget. This is completely up to you. I prefer starting at a minimum of $20 a day if you can. I think 25 is a great number to start at. After about a week, like if you can afford 50, great. But after about a week, after you've spent, like after your ad's been seen by about 1,000 people, you'll have a good idea as to how much it's going to cost you to get a lead. Now, I would say anywhere from $7 to $12 is a really good range, but depending what time of year you're running ads at, if it's during elections, Christmas, Black Friday, all of that stuff, your leads can get up to, $15, $16, and that's okay. I always let my ads run for 5 to 7 days, and I do not touch them no matter what happens unless I get 0 leads after about 48 hours. But, keeping in mind, if let's leave it a nice round number, that every message you get is going to cost you $10 and you want to get 10 messages a week, you're going to have to spend, $100 a week. So figure that out in your daily budget, right? So you'll get to know this after a week or two, like, okay, my ads are coming through, messages are costing about, $10. Then you can start doing the math backwards. So at the beginning, it's always good to spend as much as you can for a couple days to test it and see what works. Now, like I said, we will start on a Monday morning. We will start at 12 o'clock a.m. so that it has a full day for you to be able to, the algorithm to do its thing. Now, this is where we create our audiences, okay? So you can save these audiences after if they're going to be the same audiences all the time. Now, let's say that our ideal client we'll use the same one that I used before. Like maybe they are a business owner and they live in the United States. So you can choose state, you can choose a postal code, you can choose, you can go as small or as big as you want. So maybe you're only doing specific states. Maybe you are only wanting to do local taxes. You can do that as well. Now, you'll see now that it says 217 million people. We are clearly not going to target all of these people. The sweet spot is kind of 2 to 10 million. I like to stay under 15 million. Once you get more than that, it's too much for Facebook to be able to find those right people. And when you're too low, like you're under 1 million, unless you're local, it's going to cost you a lot more per lead. So here we can change the age. So let's say that we are targeting 25 to 45. Again, I'm just giving you examples. We could do all genders, we can do business owners. So maybe we only deal with people who are in the beauty industry. So we could do beauty. So they have interests in beauty, beauty salon. Another great thing you could do is you could hit suggestions. And it will give you all of the like online shopping, personal care, cosmetics, all of this stuff. Again, if there's no interests, that's totally fine as well. Or maybe there's an interest such as they're following the IRS for tips or IRS e-file software. Or they're interested in the actual IRS. So you could click on that. That gives you 1.2 to 1.4 million. So it's just really knowing who your audience is, right? You can do entrepreneurs, you can do business owners, you can do all sorts of things. When you click this, you can do tax preparation, tax law, e-file, personal finance, H&R Block, TurboTax, all of these things. Like you can look up whatever you need to. Try to keep your audiences low. And personally, so the ad set is your audience. And what I like to do is I like to have one interest per ad set until I know what's working. And then you can combine them after. If you don't have a big enough budget for that, you can choose a few things. But again, try and stay under 10 million, 15 at the most. But we could simply just do this, say if you only work with people in a specific language, you can edit the languages. I would leave advantage and placement on because we're just doing something very simple here. And I will tell you, if it says here, you may get no conversions, that is fine. Ignore it. Facebook is basically just telling you should spend more money, but you don't need to. Publish the ad. And then you'll see in a couple days, if you are not getting anywhere, then you can make changes. But I literally do not touch my ads for 5 to 7 days. I just let them go because it takes time for the algorithm to do its thing. And then, like I've had ads before where it's like, oh, I'm getting 1 lead a day for the first couple leads. And then all of a sudden I'm getting 5, 6 leads a day. It's just, they know people are clicking on it. Then they're finding those other people who are clicking on it. So once we have the ad set or the audience done, we can go over to next, or you can click down here. We are going to name this the same thing. And basically all we're going to do is we are going to add an image. So leave all of this stuff. You're going to add an image. So for instance, if I want to add an image, let's see what we've got here. I've already got an image in here. Let's just use this so you can see what it looks like. So this would be some sort of image that you've created. Canva is a great program to use if you want to create different images. You can also take a look at what other people are doing if you go to facebook.com/ad library, you can then search tax companies and see what their ads are and get inspiration from them. I don't know if this will pop up because it's such an old image. Oh, there we go. So this is what my ad would look like. You can turn on all the standard enhancements. That's fine. Just hit done. And then you'll see over here, it gives you a preview of what your ad will look like. Then we're just going to scroll down to primary text. This is where your copy goes. So, are you tired of trying to navigate e-file software? Blah, 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 blah. Like, just put your copy in there. Then the headline you can leave as chat in Messenger. So I'm going to show you what it looks like. Here's the advanced preview. So when you're in here, you can see your ad copy shows up there, that first line, then you're going to do a space and you're going to put the rest of your copy in there. This is why we want a strong hook, because this is what people are seeing in Facebook feed. They're just seeing that first line, right? I'll move my face over there. You can see here where it says chat and messenger, or if you want to put something else, you can get fancy with that. Try to leave it short. If you can leave it under 5 words, that's great. It looks a lot better when it's all on one line versus chunky text there. So you could always be, you could put like tax preparation, or something along those lines down there. And then it will always say send message. So they can ask you messages. I like leaving chat and messenger sometimes because it's telling people what to do. And sometimes people need to be told what to do. So once we do that, your call to action is going to stay send message. You are going to start a message template. Now, once I always just leave it as this start conversations. You can create your own, you can edit it, and you can always preview it in Messenger before you publish. Like a lot of them is like, you can have like questions and responses. This is a whole other training how to create these, but you could just leave it literally start conversation, and then people will ask, well, what services do you offer? Or can you tell me more about your business? And that's where you can start having those conversations. And then again, because we didn't put any tracking pixels or anything, you literally don't need to do anything else other than hit publish. Now you will see that in-stream ads for videos and stuff, if you just have a image, are not going to show in those placements. I always recommend doing a square image or your video to be in a square format as well, because it will, being that the ads are going to Facebook and Instagram only shows majority square images. So if it's not square, you're going to be losing that that aesthetic appeal when you're on Instagram. So once you hit publish, it can take up to 48 hours. You'll see that it is processing or it's in review. It's just checking to see what, if you've followed all of the rules with Facebook. There's a whole thing on community standards that you'll want to read, but basically, using your common sense, don't offend anybody. Don't say, well, you, like you don't want it to seem like it's speaking specifically to one person. Even though that's kind of what advertising is. You're trying to like bring that person in and for that person to feel like you know them. It's kind of like not a gray area, but Facebook doesn't like it when you're like specifically calling out a specific type of person. So definitely read community standards. Anyways, I know that's a lot of information and it seems confusing, but that is literally the easiest way to run ads, especially when you're trying to bring in new leads. And you will see leads coming in automatically all of the time. It is such an amazing tool to use. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. My Instagram handle is Megan & Company, and I can answer any questions that you have, or you can check out my website and touch base with me, and I can always give you some more tools or give you a hand if you feel like this is just a little too much for you to do right now. I also do VIP days where I can walk you through step by step how to set your ads up. So I hope this was educational for you, and I really hope you try it, because it feels so amazing to wake up every day and have new people coming into your inbox and selling your services. And it's a very, very easy way to do that.